Hello everybody. So I deal with a lot of haters, specifically when I talk about Palantir. A lot of people are like, Palantir doesn't really do anything. It's complete garbage. It's caca. And anybody with a laptop or a Mac Pro can do exactly what Palantir Foundry Enterprise does. There's no uniqueness. There's no intrinsic value. And Palantir doesn't really help anything. And Palantir doesn't really help anything and does not help anybody and does not help any organization that it works with. And to this, I'm gonna say, you're an idiot. Palantir is the ish. Palantir makes you more efficient by making you less inefficient. Palantir is able to take millions upon millions of data points and mesh them together to try to figure out a better way, a better plan, and a better chain of events to make you that much better. That's what Palantir does in the very simplest possible explanation, just in case anybody is wondering. And they do this by making a digital twin or something called ontology, not to be confused with something called oncology. Two different things. The difference between their digital twin and the few other companies that do it, there are other companies, but not like what Palantir does. In general, there are companies that do digital twins, aka the metaverse, whatever you want to call it. Palantir does it through oncology, which takes all of this many different data points and analyzes what could be, what should be, what can't be, what will be. If this happens, then that happens, so on and so forth. And with all of this, it processes this raw data and spits out preemptive process data that makes you that much better by reducing the inefficiencies and analyzing all those millions upon millions of data points. They do this when they work with governments, and they also do this when they work with corporations. About a week ago, I made a video talking about the NHS, National Health Service. Now, this is the National Health Service of England, which is the main national health service of the United Kingdoms. So I made this video and I said that NHS back in April says that they will be looking for a contractor to update their entire NHS England system, which can then lead to a bigger NHS of the UK. And the contract was supposed to be 330 million US. They were supposed to pick somebody actually in this month of June, but they didn't. And then a couple of days later, I figure out why they didn't pick anybody, because they're actually expanding on the contract, and the contract now is estimated to be a possible 1 billion euro, 1 billion pound, or 1 billion pound, which is basically like $37 billion US. I'm just joking, obviously, but it's way over $1 billion US over the next 10 years. And a lot of people are like, Adam, it's not going to be Palantir. Well, Palantir already has a working relationship and an ongoing working relationship, which means they expand their relationships with whoever they work with, specifically in this case, the NHS. And then I find an article today that came out about the NHS, and I wanted to give full disclosure and full shout out to Reiku of Twitter. He is absolutely an animal. And if you think I gave you guys a lot of content, definitely join Twitter. This gentleman is freaking fantastic. And the entire Palantir community in general is one of the best communities I've ever seen. And if you doubt the community, just look at Amit's hair. It's beautiful. It's luscious. It's like freaking Samson from biblical times. Now, let's read this article. This is the Twitter page that you guys should be following. At RACCHIKABU, and full credit to him. I get a lot of my videos from the information that he posts. Shout out to him. He gives me a lot of ammunition for my videos. Thank you so much. And he puts out this article. The NHS wants more people to pursue careers in digital and data. This came out on June 15th. It's a fresh article. This is gonna just connect more of Palantir with the upgrade from the analog to the new digital system that the NHS England and hopefully the whole NHS UK is gonna move towards to. And hopefully the company that gets that contract is Palantir, but the NHS is actively pursuing and talking about digitification of data. And in this article, they're gonna mention Palantir and how effective Palantir was in reducing wait times and increasing productivity of the NHS in the limited capacity that Palantir is currently working with them. And then that's gonna make you think, wow, Palantir is going to get this mother effing contract. And I'll get back to that in the end of this video. The lead for analytical development at the NHS England and NHS Improvement has said the organization is trying to ensure that more undergraduates and young people want to pursue careers in digital and data in the NHS. She emphasized, and I quote, "The NHS England is trying to change the culture and mindset so that data is for everybody. The wish is for a national apprenticeship scheme to encourage more undergraduates and young people to pursue career in digital and data NHS." So she's just making the statement, she's making the argument that the NHS is moving forward and it's a more data-driven organization. Coming in to the new age. Forget about the analog, let's do the digital. We could do more productive and help more people. The more data we have, the more analytics we have, the more professionals, the more qualified people that are in the field of data analytics, digital analytics. Dr. John Court, Chief Digital Officer and Consultant in Anesthetics and Intensive Care Medicine at Chesterfield Royal Hospital, was also a panelist at the session and told the audience that, and I quote, "Although some trusts are more forward-thinking than others, digital roles need to be present across the NHS. There should be digital executives on every board of every statutory body in the NHS," he said. And this is where he literally mentions Palantir. Palantir Foundry is a real success so far in tackling elective care backlog. In another session on June 15th titled "Putting Data to Work, Tackling the Elective Care Backlog," a number of NHS trust leaders explained the impact the platform has had on waiting lists and theater utilization. Palantir Foundry is a software that connects information systems, analytics teams, and caregivers supporting the NHS in many ways, including by reducing the elective waiting list and help patients get seen faster. Now you guys are gonna say, "Adam, that's all great, but how do they actually do it? Like, how much more effective are you by using Palantir?" And I'm gonna give you a number, but remember, this is Palantir in a very limited capacity. Can you imagine what they're gonna do if they get the contract to digify the entire NHS England and then the entire UK? Can you just freaking imagine how much more effective the UK medical system is gonna be? Tara William, Chief Digital Information Officer at the Countess of Chester Hospital, highlighted the positive impact of Palantir Foundry and how it is helping clinics and patients in Chester. She told the Confed Expo audience, and I quote, "The implementation was a very positive experience from our point of view. In terms of our inpatient waiting list, we've had a 23% impact on waiting, 23 freaking percent at a limited capacity in a specific location." Can you imagine? Hallelujah! What Palantir will do if they are the main digital operating system, bringing the analog into the digital of the NHS England, hopefully the NHS UK. Guys, Palantir is a freaking beast. No, that whole billion-dollar contract is not all profit. Maybe 30% will be profit, as Palantir always says. Their margins are around 30%. So maybe 300 million will be profits of the 1 billion. But that's 1 billion pound. So maybe we're talking about 330 million, let's say. 330 million over the next 10 years would be around 33 million a year in pure profits. That is exactly what we need to bolster our books. And that is exactly what we need to pave the way for being the operating system of a lot more national health systems. That's the thing with Palantir. You don't know you need them until you need them. You don't know how effective they are until you give them a chance. And you start with a small little contract and then you expand. It happened with the NHS. It's currently happening with the NHS. It happened with the Army. It's currently happening with the Army. It happened with a lot of corporate clients. It happened with a lot of corporate clients and currently happening with a lot of corporate clients. If you remember, Stellantis had a deal with Palantir, and now they're upgrading their deal with Palantir so Palantir can digify their entire company and their entire organization. Pretty similar to what the NHS England is trying to do right now. And I quote, "The platform has been a real success in helping clean up our waiting list and ensuring that the data is as clean as it could be and that all participants for theater utilization and making sure we're making best use of our theater space," she added. And I quote, "It's going so well that we're actually continuing with the platform, continuing with our work on data quality, but also looking at outpatients now." She said, "We will be at a 0-52-week wait in about 6 weeks' time, and we've done that through a lot of hard work from our clinical teams. What we've had to do is wait list validation incredibly manually, so our teams who have put in huge amounts of effort and a huge amount of hours to do so are now so excited that they've got the tools that's much easier to use that let them pick through quite easily." The trust applications as part of Palantir Foundry include waiting list management, theater scheduling, and discharging patients, tracking list, all of which help to reduce the elective care backlog. Guys, Palantir is a freaking beast. Palantir is a freaking beast. It's an absolute beast. A lot of YouTubers, they hate Palantir. The reason they hate Palantir is because they're using Palantir clout for their benefits, for clicks. Some YouTubers probably think I'm a clown. Some YouTubers, or a lot of YouTubers, definitely think other Palantir folk are definitely clowns, and that's okay. At the end of the day, within now to the next 10 years, I will be having the last laugh when it comes to Palantir. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm purely entertainer and education. I truly believe in Palantir. From the bottom of my gut, I believe Palantir is going to be the operating system in many of the government contracts and government availability of the United States allies, especially after what's happening right now with the geopolitical uncertainty in Ukraine. This is a Pandora's box that's going to open up everything. If before people were scared of data analytics, now people are more scared of what will happen if we don't have that data analytics. Basically, Palantir was a bench warmer. That was freaking A-list superstar NBA most valuable player that never had a chance to actually shoot the ball. Now Palantir is off the bench and it gets to showcase its athleticism on the court, if you understand that analogy. Thank you.